Today, folks, we're going to do something a little different. A while back, Danny Ritchie sent over a pair of XLS Encores to use with the First Watt F6 review. At the same time, he wanted me to do some A and B tests using the tube connectors compared to a typical speaker plate we often see on the back of most speakers. Danny has both the tube connectors and plate installed on the back of the Encores, making this a snap to go back and forth. According to Danny, the tube connector is a binding post replacement that solves all the problems associated with traditional binding posts. In the world of high-end audio, where quality speaker cables and internal wires are used, the last thing you want in the signal path is a large metal bolt for the signal to have to pass through. The Electra Tube Connector is a low-mass, high-quality copper tube that will allow the conductive element of the speaker, the wire itself, to be within a fraction of the tip of the internal speaker wire. So, does a tube connector make a difference? And if it does make a difference, how much of a difference does it make? Well, folks, welcome back to New Record Day. We're about to find out. Using the same process as when I review cables, I listened to the same song for 15 to 20 seconds. As I switched back and forth and repeated the process, I caught on to something that was repeatable and easy to detect. In one word, I would describe what I heard as presence. With the tube connectors, it sounded to me like someone walked up to the speakers and pulled off a light blanket that was covering them. Yeah, I do hear a difference with these tube connectors. It's like there's greater detail, and I think that I'm almost convinced that it's not that there's more bass. I think that actually the bass is kind of tightening up. It sounds more accurate. It doesn't sound, it sounds more controlled, is what it sounds like to me. So, I think we need a second opinion. Let's go to my brother's house.
Do you want to switch on the fly? I have to be honest that I think I do hear some differences.
Okay.
Switch back.
Okay.
One more time. Yeah, that's interesting. Man, it's so subtle.
Yeah.
And again, it's like in this game of trying to determine cables and different things, it's not as obvious to me as speakers and amps, but what I think I heard with switching to, what did you call it?
The tube connectors.
The tube connectors was, I heard two kind of distinguishing things. The first thing I heard in her voice was it seemed to me like her voice lifted just a tad in the center image, and her tone increased maybe a slight little bit of frequency. You maybe got a little bit more high detail out of her voice. The other thing that I think I've got had to do with, like, it's all in the mid-range, in the voice and the piano. It just felt like the piano resonated a little better to me. Like maybe just a tad more, clearness or clarity in the piano.
Yeah.
I didn't determine. I didn't feel like I felt like it got any wider or anything else happened. I felt like the bass kind of stayed the same the whole way through.
Cool.
But beyond that, I think what I am hearing is maybe some better clarity, a tad bit more detail, and maybe just a little bit better handling of those upper frequencies.
Well, folks, there you have it. Absolutely, tube connectors make a difference. I think that at the end of the day, people will just need to decide whether or not they're worth the money, and I can't decide that for you. They're $60 for a pair. You can jump over to grresearch.com, click on accessories, and off you go. For the do-it-yourself enthusiast that really wants to soak up as much performance out of their build, I think they make all the sense in the world. Thank you so much for stopping by. We definitely appreciate it. Peace. Take it easy.